You ever just get up in the morning and be like, what the fuck is going on? That's been my life lately. And I'm sick of everyone asking me what the fuck is next. I don't know what the fuck is next. Okay? This is really some shit. The crisis of 20 fucking 5. God damn it. So at this point in life, I was having a fucking ball, as you can see. I graduated from college. I was hanging out with friends. I was celebrating birthdays and family and traveling and seeing the world. And it was just really awesome. I felt like I was celebrating not only just me leaving school, but celebrating a new life and ending an old life. I felt like once I had gotten my internship and it was over, I felt like I was going to get a good job and shit was going to be sweet. Well, bitch, it didn't happen like that at the fuck all. It actually, now that you see, with these painful moments, it was not what I thought it was going to be. I think for myself, I had a huge expectation and the universe turned me around. And one of the biggest awakenings I had going through all of these painful moments of unemployment, feeling insecure about myself, having all these random awakenings around who I really was versus what I was told as a child, breaking away from parents, all of that conditioning and programming that I experienced and I broke away from caused me to be depressed and unsure of my identity. So first, let's talk about the outside pressures that we feel when we are going through this midlife crisis, okay?
The pressure is getting...
All right, so I dealt with this a lot from friends and society and family and all of that, where we feel pressured, especially if you're somebody who went to college and you graduated now, or maybe even if you didn't go to school, you might feel it even more, that you have to succeed. You have to move to the next level, baby. You got to get something done, honey. And if you're not like hustling, bustling, grinding to know your next move, you're really not doing shit. You know what I mean? And I just feel like that's just bullshit anyway. But that is a real thing that happens within these experiences, especially with stuff like LinkedIn. If you know what it is, it's basically like a networking website. You can get jobs and things like that. But people on that website always talk about, you know, their achievements and what they're doing now and how they moved up in the world and all this different stuff. And sometimes you can feel like you're an imposter, like you're not doing anything. Even if you have a lot of progress. The other thing that I faced was shedding old friendships. Oh my God, that was hard. I'm typically not the person that cuts people out of my life. I don't ever really do that unless it's like actually really needed. But in this experience, I learned that it wasn't so much of me cutting myself off from people, but it was actually limiting a lot of my time that I would spend with them on the phone or I would spend with them in person. And this actually goes into me feeling drained, which is the next thing I wanted to talk about, was like I would hang around friends and I'm typically a very extroverted person. So I love to hang out. I love to be around people and I would get really drained. I would be like an hour into being out and doing whatever we're doing. And I'd be like, bitch, I'm ready to go home. Like, I don't want to be here no more. Like, I'm ready to go. And normally that wouldn't be my thing. I would love to be out all day. And I wouldn't have like limits or boundaries with anybody. My mom had just recently moved out of her house and, you know, is doing really great with that. And she had a go away party and we were sitting in the house and I was cleaning the dishes. And I remember that there was a point in time where like I completely zoned out. Like I was like so overwhelmed by everything. I was like, I wanna go. Just want to go home. I want to be in my room. Like I just get these drainful energies and I don't even know what is happening. Another thing is setting boundaries with people. That has been really uncomfortable because there were people in my life at a certain point that I did not want to set boundaries with because I felt like I was going to be mean if I did that. And I didn't want to ever come across as like an asshole or being mean or whatever. But I learned that sometimes you have to set these boundaries. You have to put these things in place. What people fail to forget a lot of times is that we are human beings. We are people. We all have feelings and emotions. We all have different energy systems, right? Some of us are people who can get up every day and talk to everybody and be cool. Some of us, you know, have a little bit of social anxiety and can't really go out and speak to people and do all of that. Some of us are just introverted people. And what you got to know with yourself and study yourself to know this is it will allow you to set certain boundaries in your life, period. So when somebody calls you and wants to hang out and go somewhere, you might be like, do I really want to answer this call? Or, or, if somebody is inviting you to an event, it's like, do I actually really want to go to this event? Am I feeling like I actually want to be there, or am I doing it just for other people? So that's really important to understand too. And standing up for yourself is part of that. One of those uncomfortable crisis moments was realizing that, oh shit, I actually have to speak up for myself. I actually have to say what I want to say in a very respectful way to the best that I can. But also realize, bitch, sometimes I might have to, you know what I mean? Just to get my point across. And realizing that if I'm demonized for that or criticized for that, that doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. That doesn't mean that I did something wrong. That just means that I am willing to have so much self-love and compassion for myself that I can stand up for myself. Inner child work. That is the biggest part of this, I think, entire thing. I had this problem, okay, with like love and relationships, all right, and this really goes back to the avoidant attachment. It's like a love relationship type of attachment style thing that if you don't know what it is, just look it up. Just look up attachment styles. You can figure out which one is yours. There's like free quizzes online and stuff. But this is something that I learned that I would just cut people out, when they would be very vulnerable and like ooey gooey emotional with me. I would just be like, bitch, I don't know what you're doing, but stop. Like, it would be really weird. And I learned that as a child, there's personal things I'm not going to mention, but just to get to the point, I learned up from childhood to now that I was cut off from expressing a lot of my own emotionalness and sensitivity, and thinking that I was too much and I was too vulnerable and I was too sensitive, and that there were all these problems with me, and that I wasn't deserving of like expressing those ways, or even receiving like hugs and reaffirming and validation for the ways that I was feeling. And that's nobody else's fault. It just is what it is, right? So as I got as an adult, I would get into these relationships and I would be like so avoidant. I don't even understand why I'm like acting like this. Come to find out, it comes from that space of childhood. So heal your wounds, look at yourself, look at what happened to you in any part of your life. Go to therapy if you can't do it alone, or if it's too triggering and you need somebody to walk with you. But please do that. It's really, really good for you to learn about your attachment and learn about yourself. The last thing that I want to talk about real quickly before I go into some bonus tips is learning to receive, okay? Learn to be kind and compassionate toward yourself. Anything that you went through in your experience, do not blame other people for it. Realize that everybody and their mom got fucking issues, okay? Everyone has different pains, has different points, has different things, and they ain't got shit to do with you, okay? So when somebody is telling you something that's going on with them, like, be kind, be compassionate, but don't take that in. Don't do all of that. Be more compassionate to yourself. One of the things I had to learn too was like, I can't heal everybody. I cannot heal the people in my surroundings close to me. I can't even heal you. You have to do the work and realize it for yourself. So you're probably wondering, like, Tyson, how in the hell are you from where you're at now to where you are now, or where you were to where you are now? I'm doing great. I'm doing the best that I can. I'm really doing fantastic because I've realized that this is my journey. I've taken accountability and responsibility to be happy with where I am. So while y'all see like the car and y'all see like, the unemployment, y'all see so many different depressive states that I shared in this video, and I've shared even in other videos of mine, just know that it's okay. Just know that it is part of the journey. So when you find yourself feeling like you're losing your identity, you're shedding, that is good. When you're starting to question who you are and question maybe even the people that are around you, maybe even the behaviors and the things you got into, and you want to now become better, that is so good, because all that means is that you are closer to the highest and best version of yourself. And so in order to get to the highest version of yourself, you're going to have to go through some bullshit, okay? The ancestors, the angels, the universe, they're going to have to put you through some things that you may not want to experience in order for you to understand the lesson. I had to go through a lot of forgiveness. Ooh, bitch. And wasn't that hard for my ego, honey. Did not want to let go, honey, of who I had to forgive and the ways I had to forgive myself, and even the relationship that I've had with my like career, and learning like I don't have to like work every day and do all of this stuff all the time. I don't have to overburn myself out, I should say, because you got to put in the work. But I don't have to overburn myself and try to make everything happen and try to make all these moves. I can actually put in the energy I need to listen to my body and myself and move on. I can have a better relationship with, my work life and just with other things in my life in general. And I had to decode that. And so for the longest time, I thought I was wrong for doing that. I was like, what the fuck? You think you have the privilege to do it? But I had to realize, like, I'm in a different situation. I'm in a different frequency than those around me, or those that I've grown up around, or those that know me very well. You have to understand and be confident in, like, you as an individual person is good enough. You as an individual person is already worthy of whatever it is that you want to do, whatever boundaries you want to set, whatever life you want to create for yourself. Like, you are worthy of it alone. So open up your heart to yourself and let yourself know that you are worthy of it. Another thing that I really appreciate just in general is y'all. I appreciate this community. I feel like y'all are like my friends. Y'all are like my buddies. Y'all are really growing with me from the beginning of time. And as I share these stories, I just want this to be for another young, black kid, gay black kid to be specific, to be for another person who's going maybe through a crisis like this and doesn't feel understood. Maybe you are going through a spiritual awakening. Maybe you're having a different, awakening to your life right now. You feel like, fuck, I don't have nobody that really resonates with me or understands me or gets me. So I don't know your story, baby, but I do know I'm here for you. I'm here to support you, and I'm here to speak my truth to help somebody else so that they don't have to go through it alone. And that is so important. So to wrap up this whole thing, I would say that my experience has been a lot of fun. It has been some shitty times, but it's been fun. And I am so grateful for everything that I have right now. And I feel like the best thing that you could do is sit down and write out everything that you're grateful for. Speak out things that you're grateful for, because the more gratitude you have, the more better things you will feel about yourself, the better things that will flow into your life, the better things that you'll be able to experience and appreciate because you appreciate yourself. So I hope this video blessed somebody. I hope it helped you. If it did, drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear y'all thoughts about this type of stuff. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.